For my paper, I chose to examine the use of multiple realities in T.C. Boyle's short story Big Game. And for me, the setting was the most important part of my analysis. It essentially acts as the catalyst for these multiple realities, as it itself is a distortion of reality. Being a African game ranch set in the United States, which is probably as far from Africa as you can get, creates that sort of distortion between what is and what the characters perceive. And this makes itself apparent, especially in the description of the setting, where Boyle alternates between descriptions that acknowledge the fakeness of the ranch and how it's masquerading as something it isn't, and then he also uses descriptions that act as if the ranch is legitimate, that it actually is what it tries to be. And in this way, it's very apparent to the reader this clash between these two different perceptions of the ranch. And it's also somewhat apparent with the characters as well. For the characters, they choose to believe that the ranch is real, which is rather interesting because they're purposefully altering their perception. They are choosing to believe in something that is fake and flawed, and yet they do it regardless. And in this way, we realize that for the characters, it's not really the legitimacy of Africa that they want to experience. It's a more watered down sort of perception of it, what they perceive to be the essence of Africa, just packaged in a single place for them to experience and then leave. However, at the same time, they are aware of how fake the ranch actually is, and Bender actually acknowledges this fact when he says that they aren't in Africa. However, this still doesn't prevent them from insisting on the ranch being kind of this essence of Africa. And so, by examining the relationships between these separate realities of what the ranch is and what the ranch actually tries to be, it gives us some conclusions about the nature of human perception. It sort of allows us to realize that human perception is fluid, it can be altered. It is not something that's fixed or firmly grounded in something. It's very subjective and very much based on how we ourselves choose to view the world. And I think this was something that is probably one of the most important aspects of this short story, with the use of this illusionary setting that becomes sort of ironic in the end when the fakeness of it turns out to be not so fake after all, with the danger of the elephant in the final portion of the story. And so we can just understand this new view on reality and how intrinsic our own views and thoughts are on its creation and then subsequent modification.